Introduction. Whenever you learn something new, you always begin to see it everywhere you look, and in architecture, this is no exception. Just by looking at the pictures, provided you've already witnessed the different kinds of columns in classical and neoclassical architecture. Before getting into the columns' meaning and what they represent, let's go over some separate ideas first. The word architect. Firstly, the word comes from Greece, the same people who designed these columns. In Greek, architekton means master builder, or the person who gives direction to the masons, those who are constructing the project. Columns needed to be placed every few feet to support the weight above them. Ancient people made a technique to deal with this. Stonehenge is a good example. View the rock structure. The vertical rock is the prop or the post, while the horizontal stone is the beam or lintel. The closer the posts, the more weight that can be held on the beam. Thirdly, we need to know the term capital, which simply refers to the top part of a column. Now, getting into the columns, three types are most present in neo-classical, that being modern architecture that is meant to look like it is from the time of Rome or Greece. The columns we will be looking at are Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian, each of them having a meaning and representing an idea, contributing to where they may be found in our society. Whilst there are more, they each share similarities to these base three. Starting with the Doric column, it is the simplest and oldest, originating in the Western Dorian region of Greece. It has a plain circular capital with no flourishes. Due to this, it is often associated with stability and being basic. It is also associated with masculinity. These can be found in places that are meant to be strong, such as government buildings, s. Capitol building, for example. Ionic columns, on the other hand, are more complex than Doric ones. Instead of a simple disc, in Ionic columns, there is a scrolled capital, which looks like a roll of paper, representing wisdom or knowledge. Often, they are found in academic settings, such as universities or libraries. Lastly are Corinthian columns, named after the city-state of Corinth, rich in commercial goods. These columns are meant to be ornate and have a flowered capital, with an extreme amount of detail, the goal being to show wealth and culture. They are often described as feminine, the opposite of the Doric columns. They can often be found in entertainment and cultural-related buildings, such as museums and opera houses. Even after only learning about Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian columns, they can be found literally everywhere. Depending on where you live, you might encounter them daily and never know what they meant. Next time, maybe stop and take a look, and you'll realize that the columns aren't just there for the sake of being there. They each have a meaning